Good morning, friends. There's a small question in the professional ethics requesting you to discuss the position of the Attorney General. This Attorney General, whenever this word comes, please remember Article 76, Clause 1 of the Constitution of India. That is the position of appointment of an Advocate General and Attorney General. So normally in India we call the advocates or pleaders, vakils, lawyers, muktars, with all these synonyms we will be addressing the advocates. But normally in America, in England we call them as barristers, but in USA we call them as attorney. So the highest attorney general, just like army decorated, general is army decoration, that means major general. In police, director general, DGP, director general of police. Like that, he is attorney general. So topmost post in the legal profession. Or we can say he is the number one law officer for the government. Please remember, he has a dual role. Here he plays a dual role as far as the government is concerned. So he is the advisor to the Union of India in all legal matters, and also he is their advocate. So whenever anybody files a case against the union government, so on constitutional matters, normally he has to appear before the court. So for this purpose, he is appointed. Please remember, this is a constitutional post, and he is appointed as per Article 76, Clause 1 of the Constitution of India. Now, what does 76 Clause 1 say? The President shall appoint a person who is qualified to be appointed as a Judge of the Supreme Court to be the Attorney General of India. Now, here we have to discuss his qualifications. So, the number one qualification should be, he should be qualified to be appointed as a Supreme Court judge. That means he will be treated on par with a Supreme Court judge in protocol. That means what are the qualifications to become a Supreme Court judge? There are 3 points. Number one, to become a Supreme Court judge, or for that matter to become the Advocate General, one should have worked as a High Court judge for 5 years. Please remember, for 5 years. Or one should have worked as a High Court advocate for 10 years. Or in the view of the President of India, he should be an eminent jurist. All the 3 persons, they can be categorized into the Advocate General. They are fit to be qualified as a Supreme Court judge. And please don't forget that he should be a citizen of India. And there is no age limit. And there is no tenure limit for the tenure also. He can be appointed for 10 years, 5 years, like that. But the normal term is 3 years. Please remember this point. So the qualifications, it is 100% necessary. Now, the Attorney General, normally what he does, he appears on behalf of the Union in any court in India. That means he has got a right of audience. Where he can go to a High Court, he can go to the Supreme Court. Of course, normally he goes to the Supreme Court and he can appear in any case in where Union of the Government of India is a party. Of course, if requested, when the Union Government is not a party, then he can appear on behalf of a state, that is our state, AP, like that. He can appear as Advocate General, Attorney General, he can appear on behalf of the High Court, on behalf of the state also. Right? So there is no tenure already limit, 3 years normally. So please remember, according to Article 143 of the Constitution of India, the President of India, whenever he gets a doubt or anybody wants a clarification regarding certain legal matters, it says that he can approach the Supreme Court also. In that matter, the representative of the President of India will be the Attorney General. And also, sometimes he may have to give to his opinion, offer his opinion also. Right? Here, please remember, whenever the government asks, whenever the President of India asks, he can differ with their opinion also. He can give his opinion. He may not be agreeable with the opinion of the government of India. It's none of his business. When he is asked to give his opinion, he should give his opinion, and it may be against the government of India. It is for the government or president to take into consideration or not. Therefore, normally, whenever a new government comes into existence, the present Attorney General will resign and give a chance to the new person, because there may be conflict of opinions like that. So, now I told you that he has got a right to conduct cases, he has got a right to audience, and another function is there. He can appear in the he can attend the parliamentary proceedings, maybe Rajya Sabha or maybe Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. He can appear in the parliamentary proceedings and he can offer his opinion, but he has no right to vote. This is most important. No right to vote, but he can appear. So please remember, and please remember, he is not a public servant. Of course, he is a constitutional post, but so that means he will get a case by case fee plus retainer fee, right? So at the same time, he can continue his practice, but there are certain limitations. The limitations are that he should not appear in a case which is against the government of India, because he being the Attorney General, he cannot appear in a case which is against the government of India, because he deals with all cases in where dealing with the government of India. Therefore, he is not supposed to appear. So he can appear in a private company in other cases also, but not against the government of India. Secondly, he should not appear in any criminal cases, because in criminal cases the complainant will be the state. That state means maybe a state, maybe the center. Therefore, he cannot appear in any criminal cases, and he cannot accept the directorship of a company without permission from the government of India. Please remember, in criminal cases, he can attend on behalf of the government only, so not against the government. So for that matter, in criminal cases, he cannot attend. So these are the functions of the Attorney General. So he is the number one legal officer. But as all of you know, just like all other so-called coveted constitutional or gubernatorial posts, this is also subject to public criticism. So some of the attorney generals, they have become, they have actually been commented upon by the public also. So they have been subjected to scrutiny, they have been commented, adverse criticism also came against them. There are a couple of instances I want to tell you. It happened way back in 1978 or so. When actually the present, I think 15th Advocate General, Mr. Sri K.K. Venugopal, he is a straightforward person. He lives up to the rank of the Attorney General. He is the best example for the post of an Attorney General. Definitely, he will not spare anybody, even the government or even the Supreme Court also. There are occasions. Very recently, when the Supreme Court of India asked all the prisoners who have below 7 years punishment people to be given on bail, he said, Your Honor, there are occasions where when these people are going away out of the court premises, if they are having the positive plus, they are actually it is a pandemic, they are attaching to the others. He has got the guts to say, and also in other occasions also, you should give, so he asked the Supreme Court to give some welfare time for them to adhere to the welfare measures, not coming to the court for each everything like that. He is bold enough to ask. But there are certain advocates, attorney generals who were subjected to comment or criticism. So way back in 1978, I have spoken there. He is Mr. Niren Day. So it started with Mr. Setalwad. He was the first Attorney General. So during the tenure of Mr. Niren Day, so when Justice H.R. Khanna, who wrote adverse to that Indira Gandhi judgment, then when he posed a question about the suspension of the fundamental rights during the emergency period, so for which Niren Day replied that even the right to life can be suspended during the emergency, for which Justice H.R. Khanna was very much offended and he has taken him to task. So this is the problem. Please remember, that's why I told you, If you want to give a negative opinion, better, definitely you can give. And please remember, Supreme Court, Article 142, it has got the inherent powers. Even though the Attorney General says in one direction, definitely they can take it, they need not consider it. It happened another thing, that is, I think he is Milan Banerjee. Yes, Milan Banerjee. So, during the tenure of UPA, they wanted to actually have the coordination with Mayawati. Therefore, they wanted to drop the Taj corridor case, which was pending against her. Therefore, this Milan Banerjee, he wanted to drop action and wanted to withdraw Section 321 CRPC. But the Supreme Court did not agree. It has directed the CBI to continue the investigation. Don't depend on the opinion of the Attorney General. At the outset, I told you that he can give opinion. He is the legal advisor and he is the advocate for the union. But Supreme Court may not accept such things also. Right. Then Ghulam Waharwati. So he has also come into controversy with that 2G spectrum case. He is one of the Attorney Generals who was treated as a witness in the 2G spectrum case, and also his junior, I think Rawal, he's Mr. Rawal, he has to resign in the allocation of that coal block scam because he has supported one party like that. It was the criticism on him. Milan Banerjee, he was also subject to criticism when this Katrochi, who was involved in that Bofors scandal, he was the government does not want to book any case against him. He wanted to withdraw the case, same thing, and the Supreme Court did not agree. Likewise, there are certain attorney generals who came into controversy. Anyway, it's a coveted post, it's a constitutional post. Please remember, they are the #1 law officers for the union. Here I want to tell you, add a few words about the Solicitor General. So, Attorney General will be assisted by the Solicitor General of India. Right? So, please remember, it is only a statutory post, it is not a constitutional post. Solicitor General of India will be appointed by the Cabinet Committee for appointments according to law reform rules or something like that. And his tenure is also during the pleasure of the cabinet, and they can remove him at any point of time. And this Solicitor General will be supported by 4 additional Solicitor General, and normally they will be located at different places also. Chennai, Bangalore, that is Bombay, and 2 other places. I don't remember correctly, but they can be distributed to that and they will be attending the cases. So, Solicitor General, same qualification, equal to be of a Supreme Court judge. That means worked as High Court judge for 5 years, worked in the High Court as an advocate for 10 years, or an eminent jurist. Same qualification. Only thing is, he is a junior, he is an assistant, I cannot say assistant, he will coordinate with the Attorney General. Normally, please remember, Solicitor General will be representing the criminal matters mostly. So, our present Solicitor General is Sri Tushar Mehta, our present Attorney General is Sri K.K. Venugopal, who is a renowned person, who is man with guts and who can defend the union. So, they can, please remember, right of audience, in case of contempt also, on behalf of the President, the so-called Attorney General will represent. So, these are the powers and functions of the Attorney General, which is a very good post. Normally, the term will be 3 years. Mr. Venugopal, he has taken charge, I think, in 2017. By the mid of this year, his tenure may be over and some other may come. Anyway, please remember, Attorney General, like that, Advocate General will be there for a state. So he is a legal advisor to the state, as well as he will represent the state in all matters. Of course, there is a public prosecutor in the name of Solicitor General. So this is the hierarchy. Of course, since he has asked only about the Attorney General, I have discussed in detail about that post only. Thank you very much.